Precautions to eliminate needless casualties are taken whenever possible, such as broadcasts or leaflets to warn civilians of impending airstrikes or operations. Always, of course, with due regard given to the security and success of the mission.
Đồng bào chú ý, xin đồng bào chú ý, làng của các đồng bào đã được quân đội và những quân
The villages have to be entered. They have to be searched and made safe. This remains an inescapable duty of war. But with careful plans made and executed, with every precaution taken that can be within the bounds of safety, and with every man aware of his own increased responsibility, it is done with the least possible damage and danger. Operations planned in coordination with the country's province or district chiefs help smooth the path the rest of the way. For they can explain better than anyone else, at least in the beginning, that the Americans are here as friends.
Quân đội Mỹ đến đây để giúp đỡ cho đồng bào. Vậy đồng bào phải ráng cố gắng để mà họ làm sao để xứng đáng với cái việc và cái người Mỹ để giúp đỡ mình.
As friends, that's how our forces come into the villages of Vietnam, how they must come.
Để chiến đấu cộng sản vậy phần của mình là phải giúp người Mỹ đã hoàn thành sứ mạng họ tại đây.
Friendship is one of the most basic gifts a man can offer. It is built on the desire really to know people. The soldier has a special opportunity to try to understand what Vietnam and its people are like. Vietnam is an old country with a recorded history that goes back more than 2,000 years. Its traditions and its customs are ancient and deeply cherished. The Vietnamese himself, humble peasant though he may be, is the inheritor of this old tradition. And anyone who would claim his friendship must understand that about him. He looks on the world in a very set way, defined and shaped by a long tradition. It is a world that lies always close to the soil and the elements. His village is more than his home. It is his universe, and he seldom, if ever, leaves it. The values which shape his code of behavior are his most precious possessions, and they are honored ones. Dignity, self-control, respect for elders. His family is all important to him, all his family, not only those immediately close to him, but distant relatives as well, those living, those dead, and those in generations yet to come. Regard for the family is at the center of his religion. The majority of villages in Vietnam are Buddhist. Many, like this one, are Catholic, some are Protestant. Whichever it is, the place of worship in the village is the focal point of community life. Knowing these things about the Vietnamese people and understanding the importance they have in their lives help our troops to establish the friendship that is so crucial to their mission. But beyond endeavoring to know and understand the Vietnamese, there is much more for the soldier to do.
You ready? One again, okay? One, two, three, four, airborne! All the way!
The ease with which the American fighting man establishes rapport with the children in the lands through which he travels is an enduring part of his legend. There is no mystery about it, for the hungry language of childhood is universal. And men at war have known for generations that candy and chewing gum bring smiles and warm the hearts of children in any land. But there is more to this legend than candy and gifts. And every man knows it who has watched happiness brighten the eye of a child as the result of his own effort. It does not always happen quickly. Even a child's friendship is sometimes slow to come. And how much more true this is of people who have known bitterly only the brutality of war and warriors, and who can escape only behind thick walls of silence and suspicion. Their friendship is not obtained easily, but with patience and effort, it can be won. A civic action plan supports every military operation, not because we believe that friendship has a price which we can pay with giveaways and handouts, but because we thus have the opportunity to show in a definite, tangible way that our interests really lie with the people and their problems. Food, and sometimes clothing supplied by the various aid agencies, are often as important to take on combat operations as any other kind of cargo. They are not lightly given, nor are they lightly received. To people who live always on the edge of want, whose days blend into a continuing challenge to wrest enough from the earth to still their children's hunger, such gifts are deeply important, and the gesture of giving becomes deeply meaningful. To people whose lives are shadowed and haunted by disease, who must suffer pain and illness because no help for suffering is available to them, whose health and well-being are doomed to the harsh conditions of a harsh life. To such a people, the attentions of a military medical team are powerful symbols indeed of a desire for friendship. Even soap, in a community which has none, and therefore is vulnerable to the ravages that such a simple item can prevent, becomes a weapon with almost magic powers. Every military unit has the capability of helping to improve a community in some way. Simple construction material, for instance, and a little paint and a few hours' work can pay rich and lasting dividends. Particularly work done side by side with the people themselves. For the Vietnamese people are both proud and industrious. They welcome the assistance of our forces, and together they can accomplish much. A new roof for the community meeting center, a place for the children to go to school, a new face for the house of worship, a well, a bridge. These can work for us with wonderful effect. Helping the people to gather in their precious rice crop and protect it from the Viet Cong, as these Marines are doing, can be as important as any military engagement. For all of this is evidence which will stand as lasting reminders that the Americans who came this way, as allies of their government, came as friends. Establishing friendships in the villages of Vietnam can also produce tangible results. Intelligence information, for instance, which can save the lives of American troops. The war our forces wage in Vietnam today is slow and hard and grinding. From the storehouse of our nation's power, they are bringing to it the might with which they can eventually destroy the enemy's strength. From reservoirs of compassion and generosity, they bring a spirit and a demonstration of friendship. And these too become weapons, as powerful as any other in this war, which is a contest for the hearts and the minds of the people of Vietnam. They are weapons that will touch and stir the hopes of those through whose villages the fighting men travel, and when they pass on, will leave a deposit of warm feelings behind.
This is it. Let's go.
All right, let's move out.
And so they move on, through village after village, hopefully leaving new friends as they travel on. Now, that doesn't mean that each village is secured forever when they leave it. Oh, no, no, the war isn't that simple. But their job is to continue pressing the war until the enemy they fight is convinced his aggression will not pay. And hand in hand with their fighting, the soldiers in Vietnam must carry on their crucial task of helping to build a nation all the way to the heart and soul of the smallest hamlet.